It was 2003, and Susan and I were terrified. But that fear, and what we did with that fear, was a very important lesson to us. And it is the topic, that lesson is the topic for this episode of Real Retail TV. The success curve is a very, very important concept when you think about growing your business. When you are internally asking yourself about making a decision that makes you afraid. So let me talk to you about the success curve. On this axis, we have time. How long is it going to take you to become successful? And on this curve, you have results. And in your retail business, there's several kinds of results, aren't there? There's money. How do you make more money? How do you get more freedom from owning a business? Because as an entrepreneur, you deserve freedom. You deserve to have a business that you can leave and go on long trips and spend time with your friends and family. You deserve fun. So this idea of the success curve is really important when you are confronted with decisions. So let's talk about what happens. So when you start your business, you grow slowly. You could take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, 1 step forward and 1 step back, 3 steps forward and 1 step back. And so you grow slowly. It takes a long time for you to become a little successful. But then there's a moment. It's called an inflection point. And that inflection point will change your life. All of a sudden, you accelerate like this. That inflection point could be an event like the Retail Success Summit. It could be an investment like the Retail Mastery System. It could be finding a mentor. It could be reading a book. But there's something that changes the trajectory of your business and changes the trajectory of your life. Let me tell you about my experience. When I was in retail, the inflection point was at a Kite Trade Association convention at the Fontainebleau Hilton in Miami Beach, Florida. And I saw J. Conrad Levinson right after he released the original version of guerrilla marketing. And he did a program on marketing. I still have the notes. But watching him speak and understanding that you could think about marketing in an organized, efficient way, boom, blew my mind. Changed our business forever. But then that helped me in retail. The inflection point for Whiz-Bang Retail Training was in 2003. Susan and I went to Randy Gage's Speakers Institute. And when we went to the Speakers Institute, we had 2 young children at home. Our business hadn't been successful yet. We were in this part of the success curve, and we were filled with a lot of optimism. We knew that independent retailers everywhere needed what we had. We knew that we didn't want retailers to struggle like I had struggled. We knew we had the potential for a great business, but we didn't know what to do, and we didn't know how to do it. And we were terrified. It cost $100,000 for this seminar. Plus we had to travel, plus we had 2 young children at home and we had to leave them with Susan's mom. So everything about taking a chance on this seminar filled us with fear, but we knew we needed it. And we went and, oh my gosh, it blew our mind. It changed our lives. It changed the trajectory of our business. He showed us the way. But then it got even better. You see, at the Speakers Institute, we met Paul Lemberg. And a couple years later, we hired Paul Lemberg as a consultant. And because of our relationship with Paul Lemberg, we created the Retail Mastery System. We created the Retail Success Summit. By the way, when we hired Paul Lemberg, we agreed to pay him the equivalent of 10% of our annual sales. Again, it was terrifying. So imagine if you're $1 million a year business right now, that would be the equivalent of hiring a consultant for $100,000. But guess what? Paul Lemberg accelerated whiz-bang training. Boom, it added on. Paul Lemberg got us into a beautiful, beautiful high-level mastermind. We still have great relationships with those people today. That mastermind taught us so much and created so many great relationships. And then Randy Gage joined that mastermind to sort of bring it full circle, And Randy was the one who told us we needed to create the Retail Sales Academy. So if you look at a single inflection point in our lives, it made all of the difference. That relationship, that chance we took on going to in 2003 to go to the Speakers Institute has meant the difference of millions and millions and millions of dollars to us. So why am I sharing all of this? Because I know we're often confronted with opportunities that we pass up because of fear. Susan and I were terrified to make a commitment to go to San Diego for the Speakers Institute. We were really, really nervous and fearful when we chose to hire Paul Lemberg. We were nervous when we decided to invest in creating the Retail Sales Academy. But every time we had that fear, and every time we got past that fear and had the courage to make the investment, and it wasn't just the investment of money, it was the investment of our time. It was the investment of, there's an investment in making a decision, because if it hadn't worked out, we would have felt like fools, right? So there's all of this emotional stuff put into it. But here's what I want to tell you. If you're going like this, if your business is not what you need it to be right now, I want you to keep looking out for the resources, the programs, the mentors, the products, the events. What is it that you need? What could get you to go like that? What can accelerate your success? And even if you are a little afraid, I'm going to ask you to get over that fear. Courage is a muscle. And I think that even though the pandemic has taught us a lot, and has made us more and more resilient, I think it's also added a dynamic of fear to all of us. But what I'm telling you is right now is the time to get past your fear. Right now is the time to show courage. Right now is the time to make the investments in yourself. to accelerate your success, to get you where you want to go. We are coming out of this pandemic, and now is the time to be brave. Now is the time to invest in yourself. Now is the time to show the courage to get you the results that you deserve. Now is the time. So I hope that this model helps you think about decisions that you have to make, and I hope this model helps you grow, because your success is so incredibly important to me. And I would love to hear your comments. Put them down below. I'm Bob Nagin, and we'll see you next week.